Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. And this is the story how I got scammed off my Hyperion and how I got it back in under 24 hours. This is an absolute roller coaster ride of a story and you don't want to miss any part of it. Make sure to watch the entire video and consider subscribing. This is probably one of the greatest Skyblock stories to date. Let's get started. So, it all began yesterday, February 12th, 2020. Earlier that day, my longtime viewer Rue81 had just quit the game and had given me over 100 million coins of contraband. As you can see by this footage, I am greatly appreciative to Rue81 and even took the time to make a sign, a very big sign, in the front of my island just to show my appreciation. The rest of the stream went pretty normally. I hit Catacombs level 29, which was my goal for the stream, and then disaster struck. Now, for weeks, Rue81 had been asking to borrow my Hyperion. And I wasn't originally going to give Rue81 the Hyperion, but he told me that it was a dream of his to use the Hyperion just once, and after giving me all of his stuff, it just seemed so genuine. Now, looking back at this was an extremely stupid thing to do, trusting a random stranger on the internet to my extremely expensive sword. However, you must realize that I am by nature quite a generous person, and I just want to do something nice for Rue81, make his day, because he had spent all of his coins and just gave them to me. So, I was going to do some viewer duels, and I gave Rue81 the Hyperion, as you can see here. Then, after Rue81 got the Hyperion, they pretended to be overjoyed and said they were going to join a dungeon run. So, the UHC duel that followed went as normal. It was a pretty close fight, but that's not what matters. After the UHC duel, I noticed that Rue81 had unfriended me. Now, originally, I wasn't too shocked by this. I just assumed that they'd done it by mistake or something. But then I partied Rue81, and guess what? They had ignore added me. I proceeded to go into an absolute panic. I was literally in disbelief. I had never gotten scammed by someone who had spent so long building my trust. This person literally spent hours of their own life just to scam me out of a sword in a video game and in Minecraft of all video games. I was in disbelief. As the shock started to wear off, I realized how terrible the situation was. For my channel, whenever I get a new item, I make a lot of videos about it, and the Hyperion was no exception. However, this time I had a great many videos planned about this sword. I realized that most players cannot actually afford a Hyperion, so by making lots of useful content about the sword, players can truly see if the Hyperion is for them, and they can see how it actually performs. I had tons of exciting videos planned for all of you guys revolving around this sword. And most of my net worth in the game was also carried by this sword. And now that it was gone, I was in a very hopeless and dark place. For the rest of the stream, I was extremely depressed. I just played some viewer duels in silence, and I really was just completely shocked. Honestly, looking back, I should have definitely seen this coming, but I just couldn't understand why someone would break an entire friendship just to scam someone, and the thing is, they didn't even sell the sword. Now, most players, when something would happen to them, they'd probably quit the game, or they would slowly try to build back up. However, this was a lot more to me than just the game. This was my YouTube channel. And along with grinding this game for hundreds of hours, I also spent hundreds of hours grinding YouTube. And the fact that this sword had been taken away from me was more than catastrophic. However, after that, I started to see glimpses of hope. The popular YouTuber Hellcastle offered to help and even partied the scammers. However, unfortunately, Hellcastle got nowhere. Rue81 would not budge and would not give the Hyperion back. After this, I proceeded to be very toxic to Rue81 and their friend who macros coins. The friend who macros coins had the Discord name Osama, and I was just venting my anger on them. So if you guys were at all insulted by whatever I said to you, just know that I was very frustrated at that moment and I apologize now. So that is what happened the first few hours after I got scammed. However, after I woke up in the morning, I decided to do some more research. I was very, very dedicated to find my Hyperion. I don't even care if I never got it back. I wanted to know where it was and if I could get it back. To do this, I proceeded to search for Hyperions on the auction house, and I found something incredibly strange. This that I'm showing on screen right now is a screenshot that I took. Now, this is my exact Hyperion. The music rune matches, the enchants match, everything matches, and there's no way it could have been another Hyperion, especially with the time frame. However, this Hyperion wasn't being sold by the person who scammed me, Rue81. This Hyperion was being sold by a completely other person, Zoid YK. So you might be wondering, how the heck did a random player called Zoid YK get a hold of my Hyperion? Didn't Rue81 scam you? Well, I'm just going to be taking Rue81's word for it. This might just be Rue81's alt account, I'm not really sure. But this is what Rue81 said. After Rue81 scammed my Hyperion, he admitted to me that he felt really, really bad. And just the fact that he told me he felt bad already made me forgive him in a very small way. At least showing remorse in some way is better than just spamming L and doing something toxic. At least he said that he was sorry. He could have been lying, but at least there was an effort. Then he proceeded to tell me that Zoid YK was another scammer and apparently Rue81's friend. Rue81 gave the Hyperion to Zoid YK to borrow, and guess what? Zoid YK ran with the sword. So now I had successfully tracked down my Hyperion. It was no longer with Rue81, but a random person called Zoid YK. I tried to party Zoid YK to sort things out, unfortunately he was not online. However, this is where things got very, very interesting. In the morning, I checked the popular website called High Auctions to see if my Hyperion had sold yet. Zoid YK was putting it for a very, very low price, and guess what? It had sold. But it hadn't just sold to any random person. In fact, it had not sold to any random person at all. It had been sold to popular YouTuber ToadStar0. This is where the story gets really, really interesting. The YouTuber, a YouTuber that I even watched, ToadStar0 had bought my Hyperion for 625 million coins. And that was exactly the amount that I'd been scammed for, maybe even more. Now, this immediately gave me a lot of hope. And the reason for this is because with the fact that Toadstar is a YouTuber, he is relatively easy to contact. Now, I wasn't in Toadstar's Discord server yet, so I joined the Discord server. And I saw him in general chat. Those 10 minutes I had to wait before I could type messages on the server felt like the longest 10 minutes of my life. However, luckily, Toadstar immediately realized what had happened. He did not try to question me or question the legitimacy of this. After I showed him my livestream VOD as proof, he immediately began to help. So thank you ToadStar0 for being supportive, even if there wasn't a ton of evidence to back what I was saying. Now, ToadStar0 clearly understood the problem, and so did I. ToadStar0 was in the possession of a scammed Hyperion. And there's nothing wrong with owning a scammed weapon, but it does mean that it's an illegitimate weapon and someone else has suffered just so that you can own the sword. Now obviously, it was more than illogical to ask Toadstar for my Hyperion back. Toadstar had bought that Hyperion with his own grinded coins, had not even taken that much contraband. And it doesn't really make sense to ask someone for this cord back, because then they're going to lose 600 million coins. On top of this, Hellcastle and Furry E-Boy were continuing to help me, and we were determined to get the solution fixed. In the preceding few hours, I got over 400 million coins of donations from generous Skyblock players. One of the largest donations was from my YouTube friend, Poison Rain. I'd like to give a massive thank you to Poison Rain, and you guys should definitely subscribe to his channel. I've linked the link in the description. So, Poison Rain's donation really helped out a lot, because now I realized that getting the Hyperion was no longer seeming like an endless tunnel, but actually something that could be achieved. With Poison Rain's donation, I was already 2/3 the way to getting a Hyperion back, but that last 200 mil still seemed like a massive hurdle. The rest of the day passed normally, and then I started my contraband stream. Now, I know it's really scummy to do a contraband stream, but you must understand that I was truly in panic and I was very, very desperate. To anyone who got annoyed by me asking for donations, please understand that this sword and me making videos on this sword was literally my game plan for this channel for many months to come, and losing it was extremely catastrophic. So I apologize if you're annoyed by me asking for donations, but please understand my reasons. However, during the contraband stream, something happened that I would never have imagined. I received almost 300 million coins of contraband in those 2 hours. I also destroyed my old viewer record, hitting 62 concurrent viewers and getting 80 hours of watch time in just over 2 hours of streaming. It was honestly a heartwarming experience to see so many people band up against the scammers. And what was the result of this? Well, you can see the celebration for yourself. 2, 1. It's been purchased. Oh my gosh. 24 hours ago I lost the sword. Now I have it back. Wow. GG, boys. We did it. Actually, take a fat L, scammer. Everyone screen time. Wait for me? Alright, we're gonna wait for everyone. I'm just gonna be standing here for a while. As you can see, together as a community, we worked to destroy Rue 81 and their macroing friend. Together, we destroyed scamming and proved that although scammers work through breaking people's trust, the true money lies in the entire community being trustworthy and banding together to help a person in need. I'd like to thank everybody who donated 5,000 coins to 100 million coins. All of you saved my channel and made my day. Now, lastly, I'd like to address, would you rather have not got scammed at all or went through all of this? Now, personally, I feel that I would have preferred to not get scammed for obvious reasons. You know, it's a lot of stress, it's a lot of uncertainty. But if you look at it from a statistical standpoint, getting scammed was actually quite beneficial for my channel. I actually ended up making about 20 million coins beyond what was scammed from me, and due to ToadStar's shoutout in a video he made on the situation, I've also gained over 50 subscribers in this time. So, yet again, I'd like to say, all of you guys are absolute legends. I thank all of you, and this should be taught as a lesson that even though scammers are there to divide us and make us not have trust in anyone, it's only that we can take down scammers with trust and actually banding together as a community. Hopefully Skyblock will turn into a less toxic community, however I doubt it, and this is my total roller coaster ride of a story. By the way, now going down, so I've linked both live streams concerning this in the description, and I know they might be a little boring, but I strongly recommend that you watch both live streams in its entirety. They're very informative, and it really is a great and heartwarming representation of how the community can band together. I'll be making more content now soon. I'm currently on break in school and have lots of time to make content. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye!